Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I think it's been how long has it been? I think it's been 2 months or a month since I made a video. Super excited. Yes, this is my reveal video on me being pregnant. As you can see, I didn't even think I would be that person to not. I'm currently 6 months right now. I honestly thought then when I found out I was pregnant, I would reveal it, tell everyone like, oh my god, I'm pregnant, I'm so excited. But it's like once you find out you're carrying a child, your whole life changes. Everything changes. Anyways, I digress. Let me jump right into it. So, how I found out I was pregnant. It was December 6th. I woke up and I was on the phone with my boyfriend. And I felt so odd. Something was off. So I continuously told him, like, I don't feel good. I wasn't in pain. Nothing was wrong. I just said, I don't feel good. Something is odd. But he kept asking me, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Like, my boyfriend, he's straightforward. He just wants to know. He wants to get straight to the point. So I kept saying, something's wrong, something's wrong. So he's like, what are you talking about? He said, all right, go take a test. And I said, go take a test? Me? No way. So I was using contraceptives before, but obviously I stopped using them, whatever. So I get in my car. I'm home alone. At this time, I was living with my brother and my sister-in-law and my 3 nieces. So no one was home. So at this time, I got in my car. I drove up the block to Dollar Tree. So I get to pregnancy test, and as I'm at the register checking out, this African American lady, older lady, she said to me, she was like, sweetie, if you have to get 2 tests, you know you're pregnant. Because you know the first one's gonna say yes, and you just wanna take a second one to make sure you're not crazy. So in my head, I'm like, what? Is she jinxing me right now? What is going on? So I go home, I take 1 test, and it comes up, I'm on the phone with my boyfriend, and the first test comes up positive. So I'm like, no way. I was in such shock. I got from off the toilet and sat on the floor in the bathroom, and I was just rocking back and forth. And I'm like, oh my god, it says positive. And he's just quiet on the phone. He's like, word. And I'm like, word? Like, this is real. This says positive. This is the first time I've ever took a pregnancy test, and it said positive, obviously, because this is my first child. And it was just, why are you moving? You know what I'm talking about, you? This baby is so funny. Yeah, so I took the test, like I said, and I started hyperventilating. I started going crazy. My boyfriend was very nonchalant on the phone, and I kept telling him, like, I'm so scared, I'm so scared, I'm so scared. And he was just like, take another one, relax. And I'm like, take another one. I was angry because I'm like, no, I'm by myself. He's in New York. I was in Florida. I was home alone. My sister-in-law wasn't home, so I was just all up, just going crazy. So then I took the second one. The second one said positive as well, the two lines. So then my boyfriend was like, yo, you gotta go to the doctor. I'm like, the doctor? I start crying. I'm like, I don't want to go to the doctor. I don't know what's going on. So I go to the doctor. I do a blood and a urine test, and then they said they would call me back in a few days. Actually, the urine test came up positive right away, but the blood work just to see if it's 100% accurate. Because sometimes when you take a pregnancy test, the urine, it's unlikely to happen, but they do say it's common. You can take a test and it can come up positive, but then you're really not pregnant. It's just the period of in between, I guess. I don't know how to explain it, but when they broke it down to me, it made sense. So they do the blood work just to make sure it's accurate, and they could take an estimate on how far along you are. So I did the blood work. She said she would call me. This was around 7 p.m., I believe. And she said she would call me the next day. So I leave the doctor's office. I'm on the phone with my boyfriend. I couldn't stand talking to him. I wanted to kill him. So I said, I have to hang up with you. I hung up with him, and I called my cousin Marianne, and we were on the phone. And I'm like, I started crying. I was like, I can't do this. I'm going crazy. She's like, what the hell is wrong with you? Because usually when I call her, I'm like, yo, what's up? Da da da. But for some reason, I I don't know why I was going crazy now that I'm thinking about it, but it was just such a shock to me. Like I said before, I'm in school, I'm working, I live in Florida, my whole family's my parents are in New York, and my boyfriend's in New York. Although he came to visit me, I was just, a million things were running through my mind. I kept saying, how am I gonna tell my mom? I was going crazy. So then, what was I saying? You know you get baby brain. It's so funny. You actually don't get baby brain. All your brain cells are going to your child. So for those of you that think it's like, oh, moms lose their memory and stuff like that and we get dumb, no. Our brain cells are going to our kid. So, what did I really say? Oh yeah, so I called my cousin Marianne and she was like, what's wrong, what's wrong? So I sent her a picture of the pregnancy test. I said positive, and she was just like, oh my God, congratulations. And I was like, congratulations. I don't know what I was expecting her reaction as well as my boyfriend's reaction to be, but it was a total opposite. I started crying. She was like, yo, you're good. She was like, calm down, you're good, just chill. You're good, you're good. And I'm like, I don't feel good, I don't feel good. I'm like, no, this can't be happening. She's like, you're good, you're good. And I'm like, I'm going crazy in the house. So I go back home. Like I said, it was December 6th. December 7th, my brother and my sister-in-law were planning their trip to Haiti was December 7th. And I was gonna be stuck in the house watching three of my nieces. So in my head, I said, you know what? I'm gonna let their vacation pass. So when they come back, I can situate what I'm gonna do. I can call my mom, tell my mom everything, because I knew I had to watch the kids. Their trip was literally the next day. So I go back home, I sleep on, I didn't even sleep. I don't think I slept for days. I haven't slept for days. I think the day I got sleep was when I came to back home to New York, and that was probably like the 15th of December. Honestly, no lie. I was 140 pounds and I lost 20 pounds just from stressing out. Thank God it's coming back. I don't look crazy, but like I was saying, so now December 7th comes and my brother and my sister-in-law leave for Haiti. So I'm watching the kids. I'm trying my best to stay focused. My attention is on them, but in my head, I'm going crazy. I'm not eating. I'm not sleeping. I'm just up. The baby that I'm watching, Jolie, my niece Jolie, I think she was 3 months. I believe, whatever the case was. So it was really bad. I was going crazy. And even my niece noticed. She said, we're not going anywhere, because usually when I watch them, we'll go for a walk, we'll go to the movies, we'll do whatever. But I was such in shock, I was stuck. I stayed in the house the whole entire time. I felt stuck. I was just losing my mind. So the doctor ended up calling me, I believe, the 8th, so that's 2 days after. And actually, I called them because my boyfriend was like, they didn't call you yet? And I was like, yo, they didn't call me. I'm just sitting here going crazy. So I called her, and she was like, oh, I thought we called you. And I'm like, you thought you called me? I'm sitting here going crazy, and you thought you called me? So we're on the phone, and she was like, yes, we got your results. You're definitely pregnant. You're about 2 to 4 weeks. And I'm like, about 2 to 4 weeks? I start crying. I hang up with her and I call my boyfriend. I'm like, yo, I'm definitely pregnant. Definitely pregnant. He was like, what the hell? Then I felt like that's when it hit him and reality hit, and he's like, this is serious now. Because before it was just the pregnancy test and we were unsure, but now when we got the blood work back, it was 100% definite. So at that time, like I said, I think I was watching the kids the 7, 8, 9, the 7 through the 11th. I'm gonna say I was watching the kids. Yeah. So that week went by. Like I said, I was completely stressed for no reason. I don't know why, but I was just going crazy. I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I didn't finish school yet. I'm going crazy. It was an eye-opener, honestly, and it was a life change in a blink of an eye. Because 1 second you're not pregnant, the next second you're pregnant. So eventually my family comes, my brother and my sister-in-law come back. At this time, nobody knows except for my brother and, oh God, not my brother, except for my boyfriend and my cousin Marianne. So nobody knows at this point. They come back from vacation. Everything continues the same. I go to work, I go to school, but at the same time, it was weird because I'm living with them, but they didn't know. My sister-in-law, when I told her eventually, I told her later on down the month or whatever the case was. When I told her, she was like, I knew it. I'm like, you did? But nobody knew because I wasn't sure on what I was going to do, because it's not even gonna get deep. It's real stuff. So at this time, when my brother came back, that's when the decision making had to start. So I repeatedly told my boyfriend, I don't know what I want to do. I need his help making the decision. He repeatedly told me this decision can only be made by myself, and I was freaking out. For some reason, it's not what I wanted to do, but I felt like I needed to do it. I can't really explain it. I was just very indecisive. Very, 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 very indecisive. So one day, I dropped the kids to school up the block from our house. As soon as they got out the car, Nyla closed the door, and immediately I just started crying. The waterworks started. I could not stop crying. I could not stop crying. I was just very, 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 very emotional. So I decided, I called my boyfriend. I was like, yo, I gotta call my mom. So he's like, yeah, call her. I've been telling you to call her. And I'm like, I don't want to call her. I was terrified of calling her. So I'm under a light up the block from my house as well. And the kids' school is like 2 blocks away. So I call my mom and I'm sobbing like hysterically. And my mom, if you know my mom, she's very dramatic. She's worrisome. Every little thing, she's like, oh my God, what happened? What happened? What happened? She's paranoid. So I call her and I'm like, yo, Ma, honestly, I don't know what to do. Meanwhile, I'm crying, so she could barely hear me. She could barely hear me. I'm crying. She's like, what happened? What happened? What happened? I was like, I'm going crazy. I went to the doctor. I don't know what to do. I'm overwhelmed. She was like, what are you talking about? Hold on, I'm pulling over the car. So she's on her way to work. It's about 7:30. She drives, she pulls over and she's like, what happened? I just pulled over. And I was like, I went to the doctor. They told me I'm pregnant. And she was like, oh, thank God. And I'm like, thank God. I'm like, what the is going on? Everyone is just so nonchalant. I'm the one panicking. So at this time now, it's only Rajan, it's only my boyfriend, my mom, and my cousin that know. So the relief from hearing my mom say, everything's gonna be okay, relax, just stop crying, you're gonna be fine, you're gonna be fine. She kept asking me, she said, why are you crying? I was like, I don't know why I'm crying. Like, I could not stop crying. Like I said, I was crying for about 2 weeks straight, nonstop. I wasn't eating, stressed. Everything was just crazy for me at the time. So, yeah, so I told my mom, and for the next 2 days, I kept telling her, like, yo, I don't know what I want to do. My decisions are, I'm weighing, I'm weighing whether I'm going to keep or not to keep. I was so indecisive, and I had told my mom, I was like, listen, I need your help making the decision because my boyfriend doesn't want to help me. And she said, no one's going to help you. She said, this is a decision you need to make on your own. So at the time, I'm going crazy, like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. So me and my mom, we spoke, I believe it was the 11th at night. And she said, pray on it. She said, pray on it. Ask God to give you a sign. Ask God for anything. Just, you know, just be open-minded and positive. So that night before I went to bed, I prayed and I asked the Lord to just help me figure it out. You know, the same night at like 4 a.m., I got a text message from my friend telling me her mom had passed. One of my best friends, Tanya, telling me that her mom had passed away. Sleep in peace, Miss George. And at that time, when I got the message, automatically I said, you know what? This was the sign that I've been waiting for, and I'm going to continue on with this pregnancy. So I called my mom, and I immediately booked my ticket home to be by my friend Tanya. So I'm back. At this point, I was in New York. Me and my mom spoke. My dad, I stayed in New York for Christmas and New Year's. My dad ended up finding out. My 2 brothers, at this point, my sister. Yeah, at the time, nobody knew. So I stayed in New York for Christmas and New Year's. I ended up going back to Florida with my brother and my sister-in-law. January 8th, and then a week later, like, I finished my semester. I put my 2 weeks in at work, and I ended up, this baby is so funny. And I ended up calling my mom, and I said, you know, I think it's best I move back home. The father of my child is here, you and my dad are here, like this is the best decision for me at this time. So I ended up moving back home a month later. I moved back to New York February 9th. I haven't lived in New York for 3 years. I moved 2016, I believe, May. So that was a big change as well. But I'm super excited. I'm super blessed. I'm OD happy. I cannot wait to meet my child. I'm very much appreciative for all the support that I get from my mom, my dad, my brothers, my sister-in-law, my sister, all my friends, which will be aunts to my child, my mother-in-law, my aunts on my side, as well as the father of my child's side. Appreciative of the father of my child. He has not missed one appointment. I had at least 15 appointments. He has been to every single one, to the point where my mom hasn't even been to any, because they're always we're morning people, so they're always in the morning, and she has work. So I'm super, 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 super excited. And this is my sonogram picture. And as far as the gender reveal, I will be doing another video shortly, so you guys will be seeing the gender of the baby. Thanks for watching.